Building a personal brand is going to be one of the most effective things you can do when it comes to growing your business. My name's Gavin, and I run an email and SMS marketing agency, and I've built a personal brand across LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube, and all of those things have supported me in both closing deals on sales calls and also getting new clients. Now, I want to caveat this with saying I am by no means the biggest influencer or online media personality on any of the platforms that I'm currently on. But I can absolutely tell you what has worked for me when it comes to building my personal brand. The first thing you have to be aware of is awareness. Having a personal brand, I think, is only going to be effective if people actually see that personal brand. And the reality is everyone has a personal brand. It's really just who you are, and more specifically, in the context of business, how you operate within the world of business. Now, how you convey that personal brand is by pushing content out on a platform that your ICP, ideal client profile, will see it. For me, and probably for you, that is going to be LinkedIn. It's also been for me Twitter, and it's also been YouTube. This video here is conveying my personal brand. Now, the benefits of having a personal brand and putting out on these platforms, putting content out on these platforms, is that you're able to essentially, convey who you are at a mass scale. Now, it takes a long time to build that brand up, or rather to get in front of enough people to show them what your brand actually is. For me, the way that I've done it is I posted on LinkedIn 5 times a week for the last 2 years, and I've posted on Twitter twice a week for the last 2 years, and I've posted on YouTube 2 videos a week for God so long. The results have been about 11,000 followers on LinkedIn, 6.5K on Twitter, and as of this recording for my email marketing channel, about 660 subscribers. Now, those channels all, yes, generate leads, but they also make the closing process when I do get on a call for my sales way more effective. For example, if somebody finds me on SEO through SEO for my email marketing agency, and they see that I have a YouTube channel and I get on a call with them, the ability to close them has increased because they have the social proof and they're aware of how I treat business, i.e. my personal brand, making it a lot easier to close them as opposed to if they just came from SEO and didn't know anything. Personal brand, and the reason so many people, I think, don't put enough effort into this is, yes, it's there to generate leads, but it's also there to support the sales process when you're actually selling. So many people give up because they're like, I'm not generating immediate leads from this. Same with YouTube, especially with YouTube. I'm not getting calls. But the reality is you can't look at it just in how much business it leads you to. You actually have to think about how much business it supports you getting. Building a personal brand is hard, right? It's not easy. But really, I have found for me that my process of building a personal brand is just speaking truthfully yet diplomatically on any of your platforms, right? Typically, if you're starting, I recommend choosing one platform to speak on, but the reality is you're gonna need to be on multiple nowadays to really make a personal brand effective. But, when it comes to building that, it's really just about conveying who you really are while also being diplomatic. And by being diplomatic, I mean not calling out other people on, say, LinkedIn and Twitter. The reality is we're all playing a game, and it is a lot like high school. You can't anger people to get more business. You just need to be a diplomatic, kind of a little quiet when it comes to controversial issues, yet speak truth diplomatically when you can. For me, how I do this for email marketing is I will call out bad email marketing practices, but I won't label people who do those things, right? I let people piece it together, but I'm not trying to create enemies in this space where I go to a networking event and I have to be awkward or embarrassed around somebody. You need to be able to build that brand basically in a way that both garners trust, so never betray your audience's trust, but also in a way that doesn't anger anybody. At least that's how I've done it and been somewhat successful at it. One thing I've also been very aware of, the more your following grows, by the way, this is going to become potentially a problem for you, is that your opportunities increase. And so for me and my channel and what I sell, I get a lot of opportunities to be sponsoring content or talk about content on any of my social media channels, i.e. my newsletter or my YouTube channel, and I get get paid to do so. It's really important that you disclose these opportunities whenever you can, or disclose any sort of bias when you can. It's so hard to build up trust with your audience and build that brand, and it is so easy to break that trust quickly. So when you are talking about stuff, make sure you disclose your bias to make sure that you're building an authentic brand and a brand that's effective, right? Because ultimately people need to be able to trust you for you to have a good brand, right? You can have, a personal brand where people don't trust you, and that's not going to do you any favors. But making sure you disclose at any point, especially with sponsors content as your brand grows, because if you don't do that, people find out that you're talking about something you've been paid to. It's going to really cause a rift, and also just kind of make it incredibly difficult to convince anybody in the future of anything, right? In the email marketing space, there's people out there that have broken that bond, and everyone knows, regardless of what they talk about now, that there is an inherent bias there. Guys, that's all I have to talk about personal brand. If you like this video, awesome. Subscribe, like the channel. I make these videos really just to document my own journey and provide advice for anybody who's in a similar space. So ask away. Any questions that you have, 100%. Check out the link in the descriptions. There's a bunch of cool stuff to my other marketing channel where I speak specifically about email marketing. There's a link to my newsletter, my blog, all that good stuff. Check it out, and I'll see you in the next video.